Hey there guys, this is Pharaoh2091 and welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. Last time we left off, holy crap, that was a field trip all over the place. We came to the truth apparently that Simon's been hiding, where apparently Athena's the one who killed Dr. Sykes, and this can't be right. And we were like, wait a minute, that statement she said, it has to be this, because she said she felt the blood run down the handle. And it can't be the katana, but the only other weapon that we may possibly be it is the utility knife. But that's the murder weapon in the Clay Terran case. Yes, this is the knife that took Mr. Terran's life. But there must have been a knife just like this that was seen 7 years ago as well. Toolkits containing utility knives like this are the ones issued to Space Center employees. And a robotics lab especially would naturally have one of these around.
Objection!
But, besides the katana, no other bladed weapon was found at the site. It was in the investigation reports, if you didn't know.
Objection!
Of course I knew that, since you told me just now. Then here's something else you already knew. There was a toolkit at the scene, but it didn't contain any blades. Here's a photo of its contents. Alright, I don't see any kind of bladed tool. Fine, but isn't there something odd about the design of these handles? Therefore, there was no other bladed weapon in the room.
Objection!
I disagree. This toolkit contained a knife. And what proof do you have of that? And don't tell me your eye for art is failing you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You are the last person in the world who should be criticizing my aesthetic sense. Now, he's simply watching out for your ocular health. Please proceed, Mr. Wright. Notice that the handles of each of these tools have a sort of design on them. Oh, I see that they do. But what significance does that have? It's clear that one of the tools is missing from this toolkit. If we rearrange the tools in a specific pattern, we might be able to tell which part of the overall design is missing. Is that the theory your pitiful sense of aesthetics helped you come up with? Edgeworth, just let it go, man. Question my aesthetics. Show the court then, if you would. What pattern or design would we see if we rearrange the tools? What pattern we would see? Well, obviously it looks like they're trying to spell out the logo. I don't know if I have to present that. Is there anything else that has the logo on it? Actually, yes. There you go.
Take that!
And what design is this supposed to represent? The Gaiexo logo, whatever logo, Your Honor. It's on all the Space Center documents and pamphlets. As you're aware of, the program, it is a program that operates the Cosmos Space Center. Look at how brightly this logo shines in the sunlight above the entranceway. I really think the stars and rocket motif it's got going. Huh. Is that the new name of the Federal Space R&D program? Oh, I think I see it now, but... Yes, with just the tools shown in this photo, the red A part of the logo is missing. And this is where the murder weapon from the Terran case comes into play. If we were to place a utility knife in an open slot... What do you know? It would complete the logo! So it would! Then that means... Admit it, Mr. Edgeworth. My anesthetic sense is keener than yours. And while you're at it, admit that the weapon Miss Sykes used could have been this one. I think it's the first time Edgeworth did that in this game, too. He's like, oh. Order in the court! Miss Sykes confessed to having a memory of stabbing the victim. Admittedly, Miss Sykes most likely did stab somebody, using the utility knife. However, the weapon used to kill Dr. Sykes was the katana. Therefore, the act of stabbing that Miss Sykes remembers couldn't be that of Dr. Sykes. Very well. Let's suppose for a minute that Miss Sykes did use the utility knife. Tell me, how does that change anything? Come again? What if the katana was only used as a decoy to conceal the true murder weapon? What if the real weapon that took the victim's life was the utility knife? Don't be ridiculous, or are you changing the premise of your entire argument? I'm merely offering a hypothetical situation derived from your logic. Miss Sykes could have put blood on the katana to make it look like the murder weapon, and then conceal the knife on her personage until Blackwell carried her away. But that does clear up a contradiction between Miss Sykes' memories and the evidence. If, in fact, the murder weapon is a utility knife, then fate has dealt you a cruel hand. For you have just proven a knife's existence to the rest of us with your own logic.
Objection!
The prosecution's attempting to lead the court.
Objection!
You're the one attempting to lead the court, Mr. Wright, by forcing us to forget the facts of this case. Need I remind you that there were only 2 people in the lab at the time of the murder, and that the defendant herself recalls stabbing someone with her own hands? No! It matters not whether the murder weapon was a katana or a utility knife, as long as we know the victim and the defendant were the only ones there. You cannot escape the fact that it was Athena Sykes who killed her own mother. I don't believe it. Why? Why does this keep happening? Every time I find a contradiction, it vanishes and the suspicion keeps coming back. It's almost as if... Now you're finally starting to get it. Your contradictions keep vanishing because the charge is true. The suspicion keeps coming back to the defendant because that's where it belongs. Phoenix Wright, when will you open your eyes and accept the truth? I don't wanna. No! No! No, Edgeworth, no. Come on, man. Oh, look at Phoenix. He's so freaking distraught now. Ugh! I don't want to believe it. It can't be true. Ugh! But what if... Mr. Wright, you fought a good fight. I think you've done all you can do. No, Phoenix, no. Is giving up really the only option? Maya, please! Mia! Somebody come help me! No! Snap out of it, Phoenix! What's the matter with you? Giving in doubt. I can't look back. Forward is the only way to go. No, Your Honor, not yet. It isn't over yet. Right. I can't lose sight of what's important. I believe in Athena, and I'll always believe in her. To the very end. A defense lawyer that never gives up on his client. I have to pick myself up and stand firm. Make that brain of yours work, Phoenix. If I don't see a way, I'll just have to go back and look for one. Time to rethink this case. Thoroughly. Brain Blast? Brain Blast. I can see the fact that Athena must have stabbed somebody with a utility knife. This must have been what Ponka witnesses Athena's hug. But Prosecutor Blackwell didn't see the knife at the scene. This means that someone must have removed it from the lab before he arrived. Who could have taken the utility knife from the lab? Who could have taken it? I would assume somebody else, right? The third person was at the scene. If I trust in Athena, I have to conclude there was a third person at the scene. But according to Ponko's testimony, Athena and her mother were the only 2 there. So then, how did this third person manage to escape Ponko's detection? I know! This person must have fooled Ponko's facial recognition feature by covering... well, their own face. The person hid their face. But wait a minute. Ponko has a heartbeat detection system too. Even if they couldn't cover their own face, Ponko would have still detected their presence. But she wouldn't have been able to tell who they were. Wait, that's it! The culprit could have covered their face and posed as which person to avoid detection. Wait, the culprit could have covered their face and posed as which person to avoid detection. I guess Simon? I was wrong. Wait, what if the culprit covers her face and poses Prosecutor Blackwell? Well, Paco already said she recognizes a real Blackwell. I guess 2 Prosecutor Blackwells isn't the answer. Answer directly to the drawing board. I mean, it can't be Paco, so I guess Dr. Sykes. The person poses the victim. And I know how. Wait, I think I know how. No, wait. Maybe. Well, hold here. The culprit poses the victim. Now, that would explain why Paco thought only she and Athena were there. All he had to do was take advantage of Paco's basic recognition features. The culprit uses this in order to pose as the victim. And remember that the jacket has the ID tag on it. I think that's what I was getting at here. The victim's jacket. The culprit could have posed as the victim by wearing her jacket with the ID tag on it. But that still leaves a heartbeat detection system. How did the culprit get around that? It wouldn't have worked if Paco could detect the real Dr. Sykes' heartbeat too. So does that mean that the real Dr. Sykes was already dead by that time? Well, if that's the case, then who did Athena stab? I would assume it has to be the culprit. I just put everything together. Athena stabbed the real culprit. That's it! The person Athena stabbed wasn't Dr. Sykes. It was a person who murdered her and then pretended to be her. The real culprit! Now that Mr. Wright has finally finished thinking, let us bring this to a swift end. Please give us your verdict, Your Honor, so that we can move on to the hostage negotiations. You're absolutely right, Prosecutor Edgeworth. I hereby...
Objection!
Shut up! I didn't say I was finished. I was only pausing for a second. Because I realized something so shocking I had to take a break to digest it. But now I know for a fact that Miss Sykes is innocent. But Panko saw me. She's witnessed the moment of the crime. Yes, Panko did witness something. She saw the hug. In other words, the moment you used the utility knife. But the person you stabbed wasn't your mother. What are you saying, Mr. Wright? The answer is simple. The person Miss Sykes stabbed was our third person posing as Dr. Sykes. What? Oh, finally, we're going somewhere. Do you really expect us to swallow that, Mr. Wright? According to the robot's statements, there was no third person there. Did you really think I wouldn't see through your ludicrous grab of mine? The time. What? After all we've been through, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm disappointed. Don't you know by now this smile of mine means I have absolute confidence? Ha! You make that pose all the time, regardless of the facts. Paco's strange malfunction. I'm not gonna do his voice for this, but she's saying... Oh yeah, Mr. Taryn. That's because of the jacket! Yeah, that's like... Okay. That was another case of mistaken identity caused by a jacket ID tag. All because Paco couldn't read Apollo's facial features due to that eye patch. Like Mr. Edgeworth said, a mask could nullify the robot's facial recognition. And then, all the person would have to do is wear a jacket with the victim's ID tag that poses her.
Objection!
Of all the ridiculous theories, what good would a silly disguise like that do? Have you forgotten that the robot also has a heartbeat detection system? If there was a third person at the scene, then the robot would have detected them. I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, but that doesn't count for much, I'm afraid. Because by that time, Dr. Sykes' heart had already stopped beating. What? So does that mean... Yes, Your Honor. The person Miss Sykes stabbed... This third person who was posing as Dr. Sykes is her mother's real killer. But that's... Impossible! No, it ain't, Edgeworth. No, it ain't. Eat it. Take that. Hold it. Objection. Oh, man. A mask? The person I stabbed was wearing a mask? And I know what! I know what it could be! Order! Order in the court! Miss Sykes, did you say something? A mask! Yes! Yes, I remember it! I remember... Ah! Athena! What is it? Ah! She's remembering a little bit. I remember a man. The mask. How could he? What did he do to my mother? My head. Miss Sykes, are you all right? No! Break, damn you, break! Now wait a minute. I think it might be bad. Because the Black Cyclops, they're breaking. But didn't they say, like, do it forcibly, it's gonna be bad? Oh, God. Does she remember? Oh my God, I think she remembers. It's all coming back to me. Everything that happened to that day my mother was murdered. They're gone! The Black Cyclops are finally gone! You didn't really stab your mother, did you? It's all right, Athena. Just tell us what you saw that day. I was drawing a picture. When I was done, I went to show it to my mom. I opened the door, and then... It's all right. I'm right here. You're safe, Athena. She was on the floor by the workbench, with a katana sticking out of her. There was a handkerchief over her face, but I knew it was her by her clothes. And there was a man there. A man?
Hold it!
Quiet, Your Honor! Shut up! Go on, Athena. He tried to attack me. In a panic, I grabbed the knife that was there and... he dodged at first, so I only got his clothes. But I tried again. And this time you got him, didn't you? I did. I remember it clearly now. The knife went into the back of his hand. Then he kicked me, and I passed out. So, I'll show you what it says here real quick. Murder weapon in this case, Athena also used one, stabbed the Phantom's hand during an incident 7 years ago. She saw the back of his hand. When I came to, my mom wasn't moving. I had to do something. I had to fix her, so I thought. So I asked Ponko to move her to the operating table. Something's wrong with Mom, so I'm taking her apart to fix her. So that's why she said that. Your Honor, as you can see, the defendant has just given us critical new testimony. A man was there before Miss Sykes arrived. A man who covered the victim's face and put on the victim's jacket. This man is the real culprit. Miss Sykes, do you have any idea who this man was? No, I'm afraid I don't. A few moments ago, Miss Sykes mentioned a mask. Athena, can you tell us anything else about that? Yes, the mask. It was my mom's Japanese theater mask. I think it was the one hanging on the wall in the lab. Ah, this mask hanging here on the wall. It was kind of spooky, that mask. My mom used to tell me that, no mask, I think it's no, even has the power to turn an ordinary human being into a phantom. A phantom? It would seem that a new suspect has emerged. And that means all the suspicion against Miss Sykes has... Screw it all. It's Clonko. You see? This is precisely why I can't trust the court system. Athena Sykes is the murderer. I won't accept any other verdict. Miss Blackwell. Oh, this is not good. A new suspect? Where's the proof this person even ever existed? Who says it wasn't all just a dream in a little princess's groggy little head? Ugh. She's right. We don't have any hard evidence of the masked man's existence.
Objection!
Thank you, Mr. Wright. I'll never be able to repay you for all you've done. But I'm fine now, because I can say with certainty that I didn't kill my mother. Athena, I'm so glad for you. More and more memories are coming back now. So I'd like to say one thing if I could. Paco came to the robotics lab at about 2 p.m. to recharge. And yep, she said that 2 p.m. for regular recharge. And as she was to charge up, Athena came in and hugged Mommy Metis. And then Mommy Metis fell out. I see where you're going with this. If Mommy Metis was really the killer in disguise... Right, then he must have come to the robotics lab before 2 p.m. Do I have anything here in the evidence that can help me find this person who came to the lab before 2 p.m.? Do I have anything in the evidence that can help me find this person who came to the lab before 2 p.m.? Well, I got a video. I was like looking more for like a security camera or something. Maybe this would. It's a corridor of the crime scene. Maybe.
Take that!
This is Prosecutor Blackwell leaving the scene after the incident at around 3 p.m. What if? Well, what I'm wondering is, does the video show anyone else passing by there before then? I don't see anything in the investigation reports. It looks like they didn't check. Just as I thought. So we rewind the footage and go back to around 2 p.m. We should be able to see the true culprit leaving the scene. Very well then. Let's take a look. Okay, hold on. Okay, this is kind of stupid to me right now. Are you telling me they never looked at the entire video footage of that day? Okay, I don't know about that. There. Please stop it right there. It's just like you said. There's a man living to see the crime. Miss Sykes, do you remember this person? That's him! I'm sure of it! He's wearing my mother's jacket! I did, but whenever I really wanted to see what I really want to see was her jacket. There's a slash on it. That's when she attacked, right? Can you see it? There's a slash I made with the utility knife that day. And I'm sure that knife is under that jacket somewhere. So then, everything Miss Sykes said. Exactly. It proves that Miss Sykes' memory was correct. Dr. Sykes' killer arrived at the robotics lab before 2 p.m. He killed her and hit her face with a handkerchief. Then, he disguised himself in Dr. Sykes' jacket and mask that were there in the lab. The culprit probably knew beforehand that Paco charged up at 2 p.m. every day. So he waited for Paco to come to the lab for her regular recharge. By leaving Dr. Sykes' jacket on, the culprit tricked Paco into thinking he was Dr. Sykes, thereby making it look like she was alive up until the point in time. All to disguise the real time of death.
Objection!
It's a nice theory, Mr. Wright, but I'm afraid that it's just not possible. What? Why not? The victim's jacket is clearly visible right there in the video. And that right there is precisely the problem. The ID tag on the jacket of the scene confirms beyond doubt that it belonged to the victim. If the person who left the lab truly was wearing the victim's jacket, then how could it possibly have wound up back at the crime scene? What's going on? That doesn't make any sense. Edgar's right. If the culprit was wearing the jacket, how did they get back to the lab? Killer brought it back, the victim brought it back, defendant brought it back. I don't know. I mean, if the victim was, I mean, the killer was still wearing it, then I would assume that the killer had it still, right? Doesn't make any sense. Why would he do that? The killer used the jacket as a disguise to make his escape, but in order to conceal the fact, he had to get the jacket back to the crime scene. So the culprit simply returned to the robotics lab later and planted it there. Contradiction resolved.
Objection.
Except that it would have been impossible. The only people who came to the robotics lab after the killer were Prosecutor Blackwell and the people who reported the body. And they claimed that the jacket was there when they arrived. So, when do you propose the mysterious man of yours had the chance to return the jacket? Puzzling questioning indeed. When did that culprit have the chance to bring the jacket back? If the only times are like Prosecutor Blackwell and when the body was found, then I guess it would be when the body was found. But it's like, how the hell would it be that? Unless, oh wait a minute. Oh god, hold on a minute. The only time the culprit could have returned the jacket was when the body was found. Mr. Wright, do you realize the implication of that argument? I do. Most people, when they come across a murder, focus their attention on the body. The culprit could have taken advantage of that split second to plant the jacket. In other words, the true culprit in this case, the man known as the Phantom, was one of the first people to discover the body! I would never have thought of that. Like maybe a spy. Order! Order in a court! What is the meaning of this, Prosecutor Edgeworth? It was discovered and reported by a group of 3 people. They were there to collect the Space Probe's capsule in preparation for the Hat 1 launch. One of those people had a special badge to transport the capsule in. Excuse me. Oh, you mean a shock-resistant bag? Correct. I suppose that if the jacket was in that bag, it would have been returned to the scene of the crime without anyone noticing. I'll see to it that you get the reports on those 3 people. You will? We should also check the facial recognition database for that robot. If this person felt the need to hide his face with a theater mask, it might mean that his facial data was once registered. But Prosecutor Edgeworth, does this mean... I have to admit, I believe Mrs. X's memories to be credible. You win, right? Not this was ever an official trial, anyway. But do my ears deceive me? Prosecutor Edgeworth, are you actually conceding? Finally! Is it true, boss? Does this mean I can't believe it! It's over! I won! I proved that both Athena and Prosecutor Blackwell are innocent! Your Honor, I see no need to further prolong this trial.
Objection.
Damn it! Hold on, Mr. Wright. Have you forgotten who's in charge of this trial? Oh, that's right. I'm the one who's supposed to say I need no need to further prolong. Not you either, Your Honor. Now, silence. The little princess who was truly beloved by Metis and who repaid that love with death. All these years, hating Athena was the only thing that's kept me going. What do I do now? Can anybody tell me? How am I supposed to go on? Miss Blackwell. How unlike you, Aura. Metis was deeply passionate about her work, and she chose you as her partner. Isn't that... Shut up, Simon! You know exactly how I felt about her! Her respect as a co-worker wasn't all that I wanted! Then what did you want from her? Did you really just go there, Your Honor? Aura, there's something I wanted to say, if you will lend me an ear. I have in my possession a lead on who Metis' murderer is. You do? Right, Dono. You asked me about the identity of the Phantom in the 7 years past. That's right. The Phantom. The person Blackwell has been looking for, even from behind bars. 7 years ago, somebody hatched a plan to sabotage the Hat 1 rocket. The spy. But he was no ordinary spy. We knew naught about him, his background, appearance. We came to refer to him as the Phantom. At the time, I was working with the police to hunt him down. And then one day a miracle occurred, and I obtained a lead on him. Oh, how exciting! What was the lead? A recording of the Phantom's voice. The quality was too poor for proper voice analysis. And I had hope. Laura's co-worker was a scientist who could analyze human emotions. So I asked her to evaluate the recording using analytical psychology. And that scientist was Dr. Sykes. Yes, the spy's greatest fear is to have his true identity rediscovered. In addition to Hat 1, Dr. Sykes' results and the recording were surely among his targets. But his research of the Space Center bore no fruit, so he must have started to panic. He couldn't find them. Well, where could they have been? Who's to say? Wow, I bet he's never let that out of his sight all these years. How in the world did you smuggle him into prison? Oh, I have my ways. What's more, my partner's especially talented at that sort of thing. Oh yeah, Naka. I worked to lure the Phantom in by spreading rumors throughout the underworld. I was even granted permission to prosecute cases that attract the Phantom's attention. Just try to retrieve your identity, you bloody butcher, became my taunt. And what about the results Dr. Sykes drew up for you? Was there any useful information? Here, you can see for yourself. But take good care of it. It's all I have left of my mentor. I will. I better hold on to this real tight then. Phantom Psych profile added to the court record. Let's actually take a look at this now. Or can I? Actually, they're gonna read it up anyway. Okay. Psychological profile classified. Emotional output of this voice extremely weak compared to typical voices. Subject is deemed to have unique psychological makeup with almost no emotional fluctuation. Huh. No emotional fluctuation, huh? A spy who experiences no emotions. Not sadness, nor anger, and naturally no fear. He's the very definition of a phantom. A monster of no heart. Don't you see? This creature is the rot... Wait, yeah. Rot? Rot? Oh, what a rat. What, destroyed our lives and set who ails us all into motion. The Phantom indeed. A fitting name for the one who's brought darkness to our world. Well then, it seems a faint image of this man has been starting to take shape. Based on what we have learned, I'd like all of you to conduct further investigation. This is not a formal trial, but I do want to follow protocol. If I may, I'd like to hand down my verdicts and bring these proceedings to an end. Whatever. Do what you want. You'll hear no objections from me. Yes, please, Your Honor. It's over. It's finally over. Very well. In that case, Prosecutor Blackwell, could you please take the stand? As a result of this trial, your innocence has been proven. The verdict handed down 7 years ago is hereby overturned. And now, the defendant of the current trial, Miss Athena Sykes.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, thank you. Thank you for everything.
Athena, you're more than welcome. If everyone is ready, I will now give my verdict. Damn it! Who was that? You! Apollo? What are you doing? Apollo! What is the meaning of this?
Congratulations, Mr. Wright and Prosecutor Bedgeworth. You uncovered the truth from 7 years ago, and you saved Prosecutor Blackwell. However,
I can't allow this trial to end just yet. Why, Apollo? Why would you do this to us? I don't like you anymore. You, like, dropped so many levels down my cool factor. What the hell, Apollo? Okay. That's it. That's it for today, anyway. I mean, this is a very long episode. But man, I couldn't stop anywhere. Why would Apollo stop the freaking... We'll find out. I mean, we know Black Will... It seems like Athena, she has to be innocent, so it's like, now we gotta figure out who the hell the Phantom is. Maybe that's what Apollo is gonna bring up. I don't know. Regardless, as usual, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. I'll see you guys later.